If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You can't be the mother or the parent that you want to be. You can't balance work and family life like you want to. When you have a family, you have to take care of your health because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And you have so many things to pour into, but it can be really hard. Do you ever feel like you've lost yourself? Or do you ever wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. with your baby screaming and you're thinking, should I even be a mother? You are not alone. I know exactly how this feels like. And it's actually why I'm here talking to you and what has instigated so much in my practice. And I would love to share my story with you. I'm Dr. Potter, and I'm a naturopathic doctor here in Portland, and I'm also a mother. I have two kids. They are both under 5, so it's busy at my house. And it was the birth of my first baby, my son, where this all started. And, during pregnancy, I had never even thought to plan for postpartum. I didn't even think it would be difficult. And I just thought it would be this nice, idyllic time with me and my husband and our son. And I was so excited to be a mother. And he was born and he's wonderful. And I love him so much. And that birth process and that postpartum healing process rocked my world. Like, it was incredible how much pain I was feeling, how difficult that was. During his birth, or once he was born, him and I had to be separated for about 2 hours right away. And, thankfully he's fine, but that took a really hard toll on myself and not being able to have that instant bonding period. And then I had had a second-degree tear during birth, and I was in lots of pain. I couldn't walk up and down stairs. And I remember this one moment really clearly because it was a few weeks after birth, like probably 4 or 5 weeks after birth, so much further away than I had thought that I would be feeling like this. And I was lying in bed because that was basically the only place I could be in still at this point after birth. And my husband comes in and he picks up our baby boy, and they're just having this really sweet moment. And I'm watching them, and just all these thoughts are going through my mind like, wow, why can I not be enjoying these sweet moments with my baby? Why can I only be focused on getting out of this pain and figuring out how to sleep? And, you know, in that moment for myself, I felt really alone. I hadn't really talked to other mothers. I hadn't seen this picture of postpartum before, and I was already a doctor at this point. And I had studied midwifery in school, so I was incredibly surprised at how difficult this process was and how little resources I felt that I had at that time to support my body. And it was in that moment when I knew that this was not right. And I knew I had a purpose to serve in this world and great things to do. And I couldn't do them. I couldn't be the mother I wanted to be. I couldn't be the doctor I wanted to be feeling this way. I was also incredibly anxious. I was struggling with severe postpartum anxiety, crying a lot, anxious about my health, about my baby's health, about not being able to bond, all of this. And but I knew it wasn't the way it was supposed to be, and that there would be answers. And so moving forward from that moment, I worked really hard. I got my own wellness team together, and I started doing all this research into the health of new mothers, new parents, what that process, postpartum process looks like. And all of these beautiful things just unfolded before me, all these therapies and nutrition recommendations and all these wonderful things. And so I worked really hard, and then I started working again, and that was a struggle for me to get back into working and balancing motherhood. But I kept moving forward and I kept trying finding answers. And I got to a place where I felt So good. The anxiety had gone away. I felt strong in my body. I had gained like 60 pounds in that pregnancy and I had lost all that weight. My body felt really good and strong. And at that time, I got pregnant with my second baby. And I moved forward and I was doing all this postpartum research so that I wouldn't feel that same way that I did in that difficult postpartum time after my son. And after having my daughter, of course, there are lots of ups and downs in the time after giving birth, but I felt grounded. My body felt strong. It healed much faster. I didn't have that anxiety. That anxiety never returned. And it was wonderful to have these tools, have these answers so that I could feel fulfilled. I could be fulfilled as a mother to these two precious babies and then also be in this role of a doctor and a working professional that I really love and being able to have some balance there. And that's exactly why I'm here talking to you because I have been through the ups and downs, the really low downs, and I'm here having come through it. And I know that there's another side. And also, my practice is significantly mothers and parents who are struggling with their health issues and who are wanting answers. And so that's why I'm here talking with you. And what we're going to talk about today are some foundational ways to take care of your health in order to uplift your energy, get a dose of vibrancy in your life. And at the end, I'm going to share how to take this further. Now, why are these foundations important? Because as a parent, often you have to rely on the simplest things, right? Because you're exhausted. You are stressed out. Maybe you're struggling with that anxiety and some depression. You feel like you're pulled in a million different directions and you've got to come back to the simple and the foundations. And also, a lot of times things like what I'm going to talk about today are not brought up at common doctor visits, like the 6-week postpartum visit. And that's because, in conventional medicine, the common therapies are medications. Now, I am not against medications. I prescribe meds. They are absolutely an important part of the journey for many parents. But they don't solve the root issue. And often they are just being recommended because um, that's the only thing that that particular doctor has as a tool. And what I mean by that is, say someone's going in for anxiety, like I struggled with intense anxiety. And um, I healed my anxiety naturally, but many people, they're going into their conventional medicine doctors, and that doctor's just prescribing an anti anxiety medication, which is basically like a sedative that puts you to sleep. And and sometimes that's important. Sometimes that is very needed. But anxiety can be caused from a variety of different things. Sometimes it's a hormone imbalance, which after giving birth, your hormones are going all over the place. Sometimes anxiety can come from nutrient deficiencies like low iron, low B vitamins. That's incredibly common after giving birth because of pregnancy and the birth process, and then how we don't have all this information about how to replenish the postpartum body. And so that leaves so many mothers and parents just depleted after birth, which can lead to anxiety. So the point is to look for the root cause of your symptoms, right? Of that anxiety, of that stress, of that overwhelm. Find that, fix that issue, and then you can move forward without medications. And that's a really beautiful thing. And again, not saying medications are bad. That can be a very important part of the story, but we've got to look for the root cause. So let's talk about some very simple things that you can do to just get your health uplifted as a parent. So, what I want you to do first is kind of get situated here. And then as we're doing this, I want you to just pause and take a deep breath in. And then let it out. Nice, good deep breath. Okay, and now what I want you to do is think back on that moment when you took that deep breath. As you took your inhale, what happened in your body, in your physical body? Did you feel your shoulders rise? Was this your deep breath? Right? Or did you puff out your chest? Often that can feel like a deep breath. That's what we think of as a deep breath. Honestly, it's the reverse. This is not a deep breath. This is what we call a chest breath. It's shallow breathing. This might surprise you. Our lungs actually go pretty far down. And in order to fill our lungs, we've got to get our air all the way down to our belly. When we take a deep breath and shrug our shoulders, that is keeping the air really shallow up here. And what that's doing chemically in your body, that is sending a signal to your brain to activate something called the sympathetic nervous system, which is basically your fight or flight system. What does that mean? That means anxiety. That means, oh my goodness, something's happening around me. I've got to run. I've got to be in survival mode. I've got to do something, right? That's like that high energy, high anxious energy. And so, literally, when you're breathing into this upper area of your body with your shoulders up or your chest out, that's activating that system in your body, that fight or flight, contributing to more anxiety. If you're breathing like that as you're laying down to go to bed, it's going to be really difficult to go to sleep. So, what can you do? You can, by the power of your breath, change the messaging that's going to your brain, because with every breath you take in, you are talking to your brain. So, how to do a relaxing deep breath, one that supports your body to just slow down and actually move away from that anxiety, is to breathe into your belly. And I'm going to show you here. I want to get the camera a little bit down here. Okay. So, put your hands on your belly and then take a nice deep breath in. See how my belly moved? That is a deep breath. That is a deep belly breath. When you're breathing into your belly, that talks to your brain and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system in your body. How amazing is that? That you can make that switch literally with how you're breathing. That parasympathetic nervous system, that is your rest and digest state, right? So exactly that. It's your body is focusing on digestion. It's resting. You're not shooting out all of this stress hormone to make you on that like high alert, high anxiety. And so just by that simple thing is bringing your breath down. And the reason that I recommend to put your hands on your belly to allow your belly to come out is that that's just a response so that you can know how your body is breathing in and that you're getting enough air, because your lungs are filling downwards and that pushes your belly out. So keep your hands on your belly just as you're kind of retraining your body to do this. And then that's helpful to get that really lovely deep breath. You can be doing this when you're feeding baby. You can be doing this as you're lying in bed trying to go to sleep. Sometimes, my kids still wake me up in the middle of the night, some nights. And if it's hard for me to go back to sleep, I think about my breath and I realize I'm breathing more shallowly. And then once I can get those deep belly breaths in, it's really relaxing and calming. And then I can go to sleep pretty easily. So you can be doing this as you're driving in the car, things like that. I mean, this is simple and yet it's powerful for how it's changing that messaging in your body. What else it's done is that it's gotten oxygen all throughout your body, right? When we're breathing up here in our chest, that's not getting enough oxygen. I mean, of course, you can still walk around, you can laugh, you can breathe and all the things, but when you are getting the fuller breaths, that's when you're getting all this juicy oxygen throughout your body, right? And it's just running through your body, it's getting up into your brain, and that is supporting your energy, that is getting your hormones charged because you're getting oxygen down into those organs where you need your hormones. You get nutrients throughout your body. It's really important. So that's amazing, right? Just by changing your breathing, we've done all those things, getting our oxygen moving around, your energy moving a little bit, nutrients moving through your body that are essential to you just feeling really good and happy throughout the day. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, we're going to get out of our heads, right? Because as a parent, particularly when you're pregnant, you're thinking about birth all the time, what it's going to be like, and all the things you have to get together for when baby's here. And there might be a little stress and anxiety about what that's going to look like, and all the things. Maybe baby's here, right? And you are in the throes of that overwhelm and that stress and just not sleeping and figuring out what all of this new schedule is like, and all those things. So that keeps us up in our heads, right? We're always thinking what needs to be done, what's going on, all that. So we got to get out of our heads, right? And so ground ourselves. And this is something really simple that you can do, right? Again, feeding baby, driving in the car, whatever. You just want to remind your body of the power that it holds, and also to get out of your head. So if you stand with your feet planted, you don't have to stand. Just plant your feet on the ground, right? You could be seated. And you want to pause, right? And start doing that nice deep breathing into your belly. So deep breath in, and you want to take a breath in for a shorter time than it takes to breathe out. So for example, breathe in for a count of 3 and breathe out for a count of 6. Right? And my belly's going out when I'm breathing in, and then it's coming back in when I'm breathing out. You could breathe in for a count of 5, exhale for a count of 10, but always make your exhale longer than your inhale, okay? So you just kind of settle your body for a couple breaths, and then what you can do is just imagine with each inhale, as you are breathing in this wonderful oxygen, there's actually literally this golden healing light that is coming inside your body, and it is just filling your head. It's going all the way down to your fingertips. It's going down to your toes. Just with that inhale, it's this beautiful, beautiful healing energy or light, whatever it is that resonates with you, right? Often I think about just this glittery ball of light that's engulfing my whole body, right? That's just putting all of this love and health and goodness into my body. And then when you exhale, you're exhaling out the junk, the gunk, right? The stress, the anxiety about your health, about your baby's health, about about what form of feeding that you're doing for your baby, all those things. And you just get that out, and you can imagine in your mind something that is dark, that's coming out, it's being released from your body. And then with your next inhale, oh my goodness, you're being surrounded by that just beautiful, juicy golden light, and whatever it is that just lights you up, right? And then exhale out that gunk and get that out. Whew. Right? So what have we done so far? First, we've gotten your breathing switched so that you are actually activating this restful state in your body. You're getting your hormones and your nutrients moving. And then we've grounded you, right? We've grounded ourselves. I'm doing this with you. We've gotten out of our heads for a moment and reminded our bodies of just this powerful healing ability that our bodies have, and that we can come out of our minds. Now, the important part about this is that our thoughts create our reality, right? The same 5 people could be in the same room, not the same people, but 5 people could be in the same room, and they all experience that room differently, right? Because it has to do with their thoughts and perceptions. And so when we just get caught in that rigmarole of thoughts and stress, it's important to at least take a moment to get your mind out of that rhythm, right? Okay, awesome. Okay, now third, we're going to do this really fun massage that's very simple to do at your own house. It's not necessarily like a really relaxing massage where you're sitting and having someone just, get all those nice knots out of your body and feels really good, which I want to say is an amazing part of postpartum healing. So if you can get some body work done, get it done. But this you can do at your home and very simple. And so, what are we talking about? We're talking about lymphatic massage. And our lymphatic system, it runs throughout our whole body. It's really similar to our circulation or our blood moving around in the body. The lymphatic system moves all over just like that, but we can't see it. And the lymph, it takes toxins out. It's one of the most important detox systems in our body, and it also supports our immune system. And why we're doing this massage, and I also want to say that if you've ever had major surgery and you've been counseled about how to do lymphatic massage after major surgery, this is different, right? We're just talking about like a daily basis, how to activate your lymphatic system, how to get your body all nice and juicy and moving throughout the day so you can have more energy and more clarity of mind and all of that. That's what we're talking about. Okay. And so our lymphatic system, we have to actively make it move throughout the body. And when it's moving through the body, that's when it's doing its optimal job. Like our heart is the pump for our blood. So constantly our blood can be moving throughout our body because that's vital, right? Our lymph system can get kind of sluggish if we're not actively doing the pump because it doesn't get pumped like the heart does for the circulation. Okay. So we've got to do that. Exercise is really good to get lymphatic system moving. But we're going to talk about a way when you don't even have to exercise, and it's through this massage. And it's super simple. I mentioned that the lymph system is really important for detox, right? And we get loaded up with toxins, really because we live in a world where there are, hormone disruptors and, uh, pesticides, all the things in our food supply, our water supply, lotions, creams, all these. Now, not to get you stressed out about that, but in order to reduce basically our toxic load is to reduce what toxins we're exposed to, but then also to enhance our body system and how we're able to get toxins out of the body. And activating our lymph system on a regular basis is really helpful in this way. So, like I mentioned, the lymph system goes all throughout the body, and you can't see it. Like you can sometimes see your blood vessels right here. You can't see the lymph system, but it sits right underneath your skin. And so, this lymphatic massage is just a way to get that all activated. So, and all you need is a towel from your house or a washcloth, and you want it to be dry. This is also called dry brushing. You can buy specific tools for this. I'm going to show you how to do it simply at home. I'm going to show you another tool in just a minute because you don't have to go out and buy something. You can get the benefits just with what you have at your house. So what you do is you just lightly run this on your skin. And as you're doing this, it's just super light. You can feel kind of tingly, and that's cool. That's what's getting that going. And so you always run in the direction towards your heart, right? So up. You would do this on your legs and on your belly, and you can get a little bit on your back too, and your arms, of course. And that, it's really wonderful to do before you jump into the shower. That's an easy time to do it, or before you're going to bed, something like that. And that's getting that lymphatic system moving. Now, another thing that you can do is, is get one of these rollers, these facial rollers. This is a rose quartz. They typically make them with rose quartz or jade, which is green. And these are really lovely. I keep mine in the fridge, and so it gets really cold. And then when you use it, it feels amazing. And these are more specific to your face, but they do help the lymphatic system move. And we have a lot of lymphatics in our face, like particularly under the chin, around the ears, and then even down in the chest and the armpits. And so you can use something like this. This is cool. Like imagine you're just sitting holding baby's sleeping, or you're feeding baby. Um, and then, or it might be tricky if you're feeding baby, but anyway, and you could just be doing a little bit of this, and it feels so good. This is just like a little self-care tool that you can have for yourself. It's also helpful to get like bags under your eyes, which, if you're not sleeping through the night, which all of us are not, uh, you want to do something about those bags under your eyes. And so that can be really helpful. And honestly, it's just a little breath of fresh air, right? You're doing just the tiniest thing for yourself that feels really good. And it's simple. This is something, if you don't have, you would need to go buy it. But it just, it's really lovely for yourself. And so what have we done, right, through this whole rhythm? First we switched your breathing so that you're in this rest and digest place. You are getting your hormones activated and just juicy. Hormones, as I mentioned, are moving all over the place in the postpartum time and are a cause of irritability, inability to lose weight, low energy, insomnia, all those things. And if you're interested in a little bit more specifics about hormones, I do have a free guide about that, balancing hormones after birth. So you can grab that at drangelapotter.com/hormone balance. I'll pop that link in the chat here. And so you can grab that if you're interested more about hormone balance. So, but switching your breathing to that belly breathing, that deep breathing, is getting those hormones and nutrients moving around to get you more energized. Then we did that just really quick meditation to get you out of your head, make you feel more grounded. And then we got your lymphatic system moving around so that your body's all nice and activated. You're starting to get some toxins out of your body to, again, help your energy, to help you get, clarity in your mind, help you sleep better. Oh, how amazing is this? And you've got all these tools now. And you might be here and you're pregnant and you're already struggling with anxiety. And these tools are really great, but it's not going to be the answer that you need for your anxiety. You might be here because you've already given birth and you are struggling with the overwhelm and insomnia and anxiety or depression. You might be here because you're so exhausted. When you wake up in the morning, you're already wishing that it's 7 p.m. and you don't want to live like that for yourself or for your family. And if that's the case, let's talk. I've opened up some special spots on my calendar specifically for you so that we can talk about your most frustrating health issue. And then I can share answers for how you can feel better and reach your health goals. It's really difficult when you become a parent, and often you can feel alone and like you don't have the right resources or answers to feel healthy when you've got this sweet baby and all you want to do is to be active for your baby and healthy. And so I would love to help you. Go ahead and sign up for one of these spots. Let's just talk about what's frustrating for you, and I will share the answers that are available to you. And you can sign up through the link. It's on Calendly, calendly.com/Dr. Angela Potter. I'll pop that link here in the comments. And if you're ready to get answers for your health issues, this is your first step. And I leave you with this. She who has health has hope, and she who has hope has everything. Thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to you.